Hey y'all, hey. So today I want to talk about organization. Because whatever you're planning in your life, it's not going to be productive. It's not going to be efficient. It probably won't be successful without some clear cut organization. And that's why I'm always kind of surprised when I hear people say, like, I can't really get into the Bible. Like, I can't really read it and study it because for me, it is the map to my life. Like, I start my mornings every morning in the Word of God. And as I said, I think on yesterday or a couple days ago, God will meet you right where you are. And when you start your morning with the Word of God, He'll give you something that you can use today. Today, not tomorrow. Today, He'll give you something today because tomorrow not promised, so quit playing. But anyway, here's this. In Numbers chapter 10, God spoke to Moses and He told Moses to make two bugles, like trumpets. You know what I'm talking about. So He told Moses to make those, but guess what? Not for music. No, not to start a band. He told him to make these trumpets so for organization purpose, so that when they blow the trumpet, when they sound the horn, the people would know to meet at the tent of meeting, to meet at the sanctuary. But look, check this out. Not the trumpet had several uses. The horn sound. So one was you sounded and they knew to meet. But then he said this: when the bugle, which is the trumpet, I'm going to probably use those interchangeably, forgive me. When the bugle gives a single short blast, that's the signal for the leaders. That's the signal for the leaders to assemble. I want to talk to people right now, those of you who may be new to owners, to owning a business, new to entrepreneurship, or maybe even new in a management role at your jobs. Maybe new leaders at home. If you're new parents, you got little ones, because leadership is leadership, period. And we're usually all called to do it in some form or fashion. So look, when He called the leaders, that was a meeting just for them. I always like to teach this because I often coach new managers, new leaders. And I like to let them know, in this room where there's leadership, this is your crew. This is who you run things by. This is where you vent. Because it's organization. There was one single short blast meant the leaders go meet. He said if there's a long blast, that was the signal to get marching. They were headed out. See how God could use the same tool, but He'll utilize it differently for different reasons. Don't miss that. And he said, the bugle call that gathers the assembly is different than the one that says, let's go. So even when God is telling you to move, there's a call. It takes organization. Sometimes we get a good idea and we just going. Wait on the call. Wait on the call. But this is the other thing I loved. In verse 8, he said, only the sons of Aaron, who are the priests, can blow the bugle. Now, let me tell you why I love that. Because a few days ago, I talked to y'all about delegation. When you delegate, the priesthood, everything to do with the tabernacle and all that, that was given to the Levites going through Aaron. That was their lane. When you're in an organization working with each other, maybe it's for work, maybe it's at your church, maybe it's with your sorority, fraternity, or anything, just a group that you work with, and you are planning something, you got to delegate. And you got to know, this is my lane, and that's your lane. Stay in your lane. Once I'm responsible, I don't need you over here. Because guess what? I'm not going to be over there. Do you know what happens when a car gets in this lane? It's a wreck. It's a wreck. God intends for us to be organized in our dealings, in our interactions with each other. So get to your lane and get busy working, doing what God called you to do. But this was another thing he taught. When you go to war, against an aggressor, he told them, blow that bugle long so that God will notice you and deliver you from your enemies. Now check this out. God always notice you. That blowing that bugle is so you will remember to call on God, because so often we will, like, you know it. I wish they would. I wish they would tell me something. We just ready. But what if you would blow the bugle and call on God first and allow God to deliver you instead of handling it yourself? That's all I got. That was powerful to me. I hope it blessed you. See y'all.